Whoa.
Hello, Truth Seekers. I am Matrix fan Adam Cleary, joined by Matrix sequels fan Scott Tailford, and the Matrix 4 trailer has just dropped, and it's made us feel many things.
Many things.
And we're going to dissect them now for you. This is actually hurting my eyes. Going to dissect them now for you thusly. Right, first of all,
go on.
The trailer has just dropped. This is the trailer for Matrix 4. It is part of not a new trilogy as far as we know. It is a continuation of the original stories. How it ties to the original stories, as yet, we do not know. But we do know that Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss, they are back for this one, along with a selection of new characters, some of which may be playing old parts, some of which are entirely new things. There is still a lot that is yet to be confirmed about The Matrix 4, but one thing that is confirmed is a title.
We do know that it's called Matrix Resurrections, and the thing is, if you start pausing and go frame by frame, we watched it on 0.25% speed. If you go through the opening montage of the trailer and literally just watch those shots, there is confirmation that it takes place directly after Matrix Revolutions. You get to see Neo with his eyes all burned out from the fight that he had against Agent Smith in the real world, and from the end of that movie. So it seems like the machines are operating on that body as it was left at the end of Revolutions, which ties in, this is a whole other thing that we'll potentially get back to, ties into what happened in the Matrix Online, because the whole thing with the Matrix, I know.
We're gonna get to all of that.
Look, everyone's gonna have that friend who knew the Matrix movies, and we're all gonna be like me, going like, well, it means this and this means this, and Animatrix and left, right, center. So in that thing,
you are that friend.
I am that friend.
You are my friend. So the trailer, it starts with Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves receiving therapy from one Neil Patrick Harris of How I Met Your Mother / what's he, Dr. Kid thingy here? You know the guy I mean.
Yes.
He's receiving therapy, talking about he's had these dreams which are more than dreams, and we see these little clips of the city streets covered in Matrix X code. The idea being that obviously, as with a lot of these reboots I've been doing lately, where you mythologize the events of the previous film. He does not remember being Neo or being the One. He's addressed as Thomas Anderson, his name from the first film, before he unplugged himself. And it appears that he is back in the Matrix, but he remembers part of his life. We see him meet Trinity for the first time, but they do not know each other. They have
they?
Have we met?
Those bit of the shaky hands.
There's certainly an implication there that they are both, and pretty much everyone is now back in the Matrix or in some kind of Matrix. And then from there, the trailer just goes. It goes wild. I couldn't really break it all down. There's just shots of all kinds of different things. There's clips from the old Matrix. There's things that directly reference the old Matrix. We're introduced to a new Morpheus of sorts.
There's so much stuff that makes me worried, because there's, like you said, there's many different thoughts, and there's a lot of stuff that they're direct beats, they're direct homages, recreations of beats from the first movie. There's the Follow the White Rabbit quote from the first movie, which now is manifested as, I think she's called Jessica Chenwick, has the tattoo on her arm. You see, like you said, you mentioned like young Morpheus played by Abdul Mateen, and I think that's the dude's name. I'm probably getting it wrong. No, it's not. It's Yahya Abdul Mateen. And that dude, though, playing a very young Morpheus, or seems to be, has the Morpheus glasses on, offers him the pill. They fight in like a dojo fight, very like the first Matrix. There's the whole thing with the book, the Alice in Wonderland book, which is like the quote that Morpheus says about, you feel like you're Alice tumbling down the rabbit hole. There's all these things that I have to assume are intentionally saying, hey, everybody, remember this movie. And the thing that makes me worried is I don't want them to have waited this long and then just do the first movie again. I don't want, and it's already not going to be that, because we have the therapy scenes, and we have Neo looking like John Wick, looking like Johnny Silverhand, looking like not Neo. So they're going to do something, but I don't want it to be those beats again. I don't want to spend most of the movie getting back to where we were at the end of the trilogy, essentially.
I think possibly the most surprising thing, and I'm not doing a bit here, most surprising thing was the bit where it said, this Christmas. Because I think this is kind of snuck up on a lot of people. There's been talk for ages, did you know they're doing a fourth Matrix film? And everyone's sort of been dismissively like, they're doing a fourth Matrix film? Is there really much...
Lawrence Fishburne's not even in it. So.
The perception I've had of a fourth Matrix film is that, okay, cool, I guess, but there's not a demand. People aren't desperate for this to come out. And as we saw with the Ghostbusters trailer recently, as soon as it's arrived, and it is hitting a lot of good beats, and it does look very nice, and the story does seem interesting, all of a sudden everyone's like, they're doing a fourth Matrix film. Honestly, at the start of this week, Scott, I've always said this to you, at the start of this week, I could not possibly I had negative interest in a fourth Matrix film. Now I've seen a couple of those little teasers and this trailer, I'm actually really excited about this film now.
The thing is with Matrix itself, the reason that I, and many people like me, love that world is because there's so much potential there. The whole idea of the world being a different reality and all the different philosophical conversations you can have about the nature of reality, and there is no spoon and all that type stuff that you learn in university and you largely forget is just manifested into the Matrix trilogy, and it's a beautiful time. And as someone who watched all 3 of these movies last year and watched the Animatrix last month, Animatrix is brilliant. Alan Matrix is brilliant. Make a point of, but you make a point of thinking like they should have done more with this, and there is more to go back to, whether it's in a video game context or in this case a movie. And it is one of those things where you kind of forget how many identifiable aspects are in the Matrix, from the agents to the slow motion to whatever. And that's what I wonder. If you're Warner Brothers footing the bill, how much do you then let Lana Wachowski do whatever she wants to do versus, well, it's a Matrix for a whole new generation. We've resurrected what is the Matrix.com. We're doing all that again. And it's like, it makes me worried but curious.
I will definitely say that the overriding mood of the internet following this trailer is, okay, you have our attention now.
Sure.
Because we're used to, worn down by these reboots and these needless cashing in on franchises over the years. It's pretty much been an endless stream of them for years and years and years, only briefly interrupted by COVID. And now that everything's back going normal again, these Ghostbusters coming out, as I've already mentioned, Matrix 4, but I will say, what we've seen so far, I think, genuinely looks really promising.
Yes.
The concept appears I agree with you completely. It's maybe a bit worrying if they're just going to retread all those old boards, but what we've seen so far certainly looks interesting. The cinematography, I think, looks excellent. What we've seen of the actual film, I think, looks stunning.
Yeah, I mean, I think it looks like super promising. There are a couple of CG effects in the trailer that I think look a little bit ropey, but for the most part, super promising.
They've got till December.
It's funny though, because I've already seen someone repost a version of the trailer with a green filter on it, and then going like, well, it looks a lot more Matrix if you put a bit of a green filter on it, which someone like me, absolute, insane Matrix fan like me, prefers that. But at the same time, I am curious in all these different ways that you can modernize the feel of the Matrix, because it was such a point in time. Long leather coats and sunglasses and slow motion and bullet time and all those kind of things. So I'm always curious about that. I will posit to you a fan theory though, because another movie that I'm pretty sure is still coming out alongside The Matrix 4 is John Wick 5, whatever the new John Wick is. 4. What if John Wick is just in that new reality that's in the new Matrix movie?
So you're actually positing this as a theory that sorry, I can't remember.
Yeah.
The theory is it all ties in with. Yeah. So when they put
because he looks just like John Wick.
When they put Neo back in the Matrix, they actually put him in the John Wick Matrix.
Yeah.
And he just runs it.
What if he's doing all that stuff?
What's this based on?
Just the fact that he looks exactly
the same hair.
It also would mean that he's Johnny Silverhand, but he looks exactly the same as him. I'm just thinking of that off the top of my head.
Warner Brothers own both properties?
Probably not, but I mean, I like the idea of it. Okay. Just the idea of it.
Right, we've completely thrown me with all that. Yeah. Well, how are you feeling about this so far?
I'm definitely cautiously optimistic. I did see a couple comments saying that, the original movie reminded them of sort of like a underground club in East Europe, and this just looks a lot more like a pop gig. And I get that feeling. It's definitely in the color palette and the way that it's put together. I definitely, even having a song on the trailer that isn't Rage Against the Machine gives it a different feel.
Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit is in the original Matrix film.
Okay.
It is.
Oh no, it is in the film.
It is in the film. So I get it might not have that Rage Against the Machine lick.
Well, that's what.
But it's certainly.
Oh, can you imagine if they did a version of the trailer that just had Wake Up on it? Come on.
I mean, that's too early noughties. That's
what they're going for.
That's the trap the sequels fell into.
No.
Everyone just likes riffs and bullet time.
Yeah, they do.
They don't care about story.
Hey, there's a lot of story in there.
We'll not get into the argument.
Dissecting stuff. We didn't.
Do you want to really quickly touch on?
Go on.
One of the reasons why this might be a recasting of Lawrence Fishburne to tie in with the game.
Well, okay. So
this is something that you're probably going to hear a lot about.
Oh God. Well, the thing that's going to be a lot of the crux of a lot of the theories around this new movie is how much they do take from the Matrix Online, because the whole thing with the Matrix, I think I said this earlier in the video, was that everything is canon.
Everything. The anime, the manga, the comics, everything.
The games, everything. Like, if you want to find out what happened to the kid in Matrix Reloaded Revolutions, his prequel is in the Animatrix. And so, in the Matrix Online, back in 2007, Morpheus died, but then there was a whole bunch of quests that you could do to it wasn't really him, and there was a whole thing with all these different factions that emerged in the wake of Neo dying. Neo himself, with his body being carried away, then was split, and there was was rumors that parts of him were still alive in the code of the Matrix City. And I think, like I said at the very beginning, going off the fact that you can see a bunch of machines operating on Neo, I think they are actually carrying on from where the Matrix Online ended. That thing didn't go offline until 2011-ish, but there were years
It's impossible to play now as well, isn't it?
I know, it's completely offline. It's kind of funny if you want to go back and watch the servers going offline, everybody like cheering as everyone goes offline. But that's where Matrix really left off. If you want to get everything as canon and go from there.
Technically, that is where we left the Matrix Online.
Morpheus, he died. I don't think anyone could confirm they saw him die. It was a whole thing.
There was something about I've seen the clip now. Ewan
Right.
sent me the clip. He was gunned down in the street, and I mean gunned down in the sense that you're not getting back up from that. Not he's one bullet falls over. Someone unloads a clip into his prone body. But according to Ewan, the body was never found.
Right, yeah, so there's all that. And then, obviously Trinity was like spiked through the chest by all the different machine things, and she's back in whatever this new reality is. But you can see code coming down her face in one of the shots, so it doesn't seem like she's real. But the other thing to address is the fact that Lawrence Fishburne himself, when asked, why are you not in this movie? He just said, I don't know, you'll have to ask Lana Wachowski. So assumedly she has some master plan for whatever's going on with him, Morpheus, etc.
We've been around long enough with the whole MCU thing by now to know that just because Lawrence Fishburne says he doesn't know why he's not in the film doesn't mean that A, he doesn't know why he's not in the film, or even B, that he is not in the film.
True.
Hugo Weaving's made similar noises. He's not in it.
As far as I know,
won't answer any questions, which again does not mean he's not in the film.
The thing is, back in the day, after Matrix Revolutions, there was an interview with Keanu Reeves. I don't know the specific outlet, but he did say that Matrix 4, 5, and 6 were planned. So I wonder if there's anything there that they can pull from, or, if they're going to do another... You wouldn't call it Matrix Resurrections if you weren't going to do something, overall. So I kind of wonder.
Matrix, The Force Resurrects. Is that what you're saying?
You might as well. It's just one of those things where, ultimately, it's Warner Brothers. They like money. They like looking into their library and their archives and go, what have we got, lads? What can we do? Right, do a bit of the Matrix.
Right. Again. Well, we're about to head home and commence our 400th Matrix rewatch, I think, at this point. We did get back into the Animatrix together.
We did. Watch the sequels, mate. Get on the sequels.
Yeah, I'll watch the sequels. I'll give them another go. Yeah. But let us know what you make of the new trailer in the comments below. What do you want to see from this film? What do you think's lacking in the trailer? Are you excited? We're genuinely trying to gauge the mood of the world on this because it's kind of caught everybody out, I think.
A little bit, yeah.
But yes, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Scott, on Twitter, where?
I'm at /LP89.
Get me at Adam Cleary, CLERY. Thank you very much. And What Culture? I think it's on the main channel, just at What Culture. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. We have been Scott and Adam, and I can't think of a good Matrix line to end on.
No, some sort of coding reference. Coding.
Pull the plug.
Coding.
Boom!
Bye.